So is Shanghai the best city in the world? My answer to that is特别很高兴，大家好，现在我在上海。Hey guys, how are you? My name is Mike Stedmar. I'm an entrepreneur here in Shanghai, and you are watching Shanghai Vloggers channel. Today, it's a beautiful day here in Shanghai. I'm out scootering without a helmet. Sorry, mom. But today I want to talk to you about, is Shanghai the best city in the world? And before I even start this conversation with you, I have to say that first of all, of course, I'm biased in this. I live here, but I've only lived here for almost like 6 months. So it's not like I grew up here, it's have something in relationship with this city. It's just that I've lived there now for 6 months, and I wanted to walk you through my thought process if Shanghai is the best city in the world. So before I even start this conversation with you and to prove if Shanghai is the best city in the world or not, I wanted to tell you a few things. First of all, I'm Swedish. I'm from Sweden. I'm from the southern part of Sweden, so I'm not biased to this city as I'm born here or something like that. The second thing is I've lived in many places around the world. I have been around, as we say in Swedish. And by that I mean I have lived in the States, I have lived in Mexico, I lived in Colombia, I lived in Stockholm, I've lived in Gothenburg in Sweden, I have lived in Copenhagen. And I visited many capitals around the world. So it's not like I just lived in Sweden and now I live here. I've been to many different places, and I've lived in many different cities. And I know that every little city had their own nugget, right? They have their own good things. Stockholm has its archipelago. I don't know, Rome has its old architecture. New York has its tall buildings. So this is very generalizing. This is very broadly, I know that, but I just want you to walk me through this process. Another thing you also have to consider that, or I had to consider in this talk, is that of course I will change this perspective as I have now in the future. I mean, right now I'm this young guy running around in Shanghai driving scooters. I have no family here, I have friends here. I'm not very settled in a sense that I have not very many responsibilities. Today I'm feeling cold. So the first criteria, I think, is absolutely the housing. I mean, can you live here in a proper way with all the basic needs that you have to have in a big city? And of course that answer is yes. But you can basically live a very comfortable life for like 5,000 or 6,000 RMB a month, and that's in the very central part, having your own apartment. You can of course live way further out in the suburbs, and then you can go down to like, I don't know, 3,000, something like that. It depends a lot on the different criteria, but the living standard compared to, let's say, New York in just the housing is very good. I mean, you can share a big apartment and all of you can have one room and live in the very central of Shanghai and live for about, I don't know, 3,000 or 4,000 a month. Of course, you can also live in the most luxurious apartments in those compounds in Shanghai, and you can pay, I don't know, 25, 30, 40, 50,000 a month just to have that luxury. But you can survive on a very, very low rent here in Shanghai. The second thing on Maslow's law, or yeah, I don't know, the criteria for living awesome in a good city is, of course, eating. And let me just... and in this city, I have to be very honest with you, the restaurant supply in this city is enormous. You can find any cuisine that you want. The Swedish cuisine isn't very established here yet, but you can basically find any good cuisine and good cuisine here in Shanghai. And you can go and get really good French food, Italian food, South American food. I mean, you can get anything you want in this city. So in that sense, it's super duper good. And the prices are quite good as well. You can get around with like, I don't know, for 50 RMB, 50, 60 RMB, you can get quite a good meal in this city. And that compared to, I don't know, Stockholm, where I'm from, hey guys, that's so good. I mean, you can have like a glass of water in Stockholm for 50 RMB. No, I'm just kidding, but it's super expensive in Stockholm. Another thing I wanted to say also is that you can eat super duper cheap. You can eat, I mean, you can eat for probably 30 RMB a day. Maybe I'll do a video about that. Wait on my channel, Shanghai Vlogger, and you'll see a video about that. You can eat for like 30 RMB a day. You can survive of that. But you can also spend thousands of RMB on food. I mean, the noodle guy that's on the corner every night of our neighborhood, I think he charges like 12 RMB for a big plate of noodles. That's delicious. I could survive probably a whole day on just that plate. At the same time, you can also go to I don't know, M on the bund and spend like thousands RMB on one meal, and that will be satisfying as well. Another thing is transportation. Is it easy to get around in this city? And that, I would say that this city, if you know where you're going, and that's a big prefix right there, if you know where you're going, it's super duper easy in this city. As you see, I drive around with my little scooter basically everywhere. I can get wherever I want within this city within like, I don't know, 20 minutes. Also, there is subway lines among, I think it's one of the biggest one in the world here, the subway lines. There is taxi that's super duper cheap. I think it starts at like 12 RMB for every trip, and then you can travel quite a lot for just 12 RMB. So, I mean, it's super easy to get around in this city, so that's a very big plus for this city. Going to the beach! Another very important thing for us that's young is there a lot of entertainment in this city? And yes, you can be out. I tell you this, you can be out every single night of the week, all the time, and just meet new people, go to new bars, go to restaurants, go to events. I mean, in the beginning I had really to limit myself to not go out and do things every day, because it's so many events here. If you like fashion, there are several events a week. If you like fintech, there are several events a week. There are so many events in this city that you have to limit yourself rather than looking for these events. So in that sense, it's super duper good. There are also a very good supply of bars and restaurants here. So there are always like ladies' night, or I don't know, some DJ playing somewhere, or some rock concert or something like that. And since Shanghai becoming more and more famous, since it's one of the biggest cities in the world, more and more big artists, more and more musicians, all of them come to this city to experience this, because I mean, there are actually living 25 million people here, so you will get a big audience if you're known here. As an example, you remember that Victoria's Secret show actually was held in this city, and not in Milan, not in Paris, not in, I don't know, New York, not in Miami. It was held here in Shanghai. How about nature? Well, that's a tough part. It's really difficult to have like I don't know, a walk in the park or run in the woods or something like that. I mean, I'm a city boy. It's not like I want to run around in the woods like a wolf or something. It's just that sometimes it would be nice to just come to a very calm green place where there is no one else walking around. If you look behind me like that, you understand that everywhere in this city is always people. And that you have to feel comfortable with to live in a big city like this. If you're not, don't even think about moving here. But if you like people, as I do, come to this city because you will find plenty of awesome people. Another thing is that, is it easy to get in contact with people here? Is it easy to make friends? Well, yes and no. It's super easy to get a talk to anyone here. You probably have seen that in my videos when I network with people. Super duper easy, and you can make really good friends here. But what I felt is that it's more quantity than quality. This is a city where people come and move quite a lot, so don't expect you to get those relationships that hold for like 10 years. It feels like you get to know people here. Everybody's lovely, but usually people move away from here after a few years. So the contacts will be short, but very nice. Another thing that of course is very important is, can you get in contact with the Chinese people? And that is totally up to you. I have some Chinese friends and they're lovely. They're lovely. I love to get in contact with more and more Chinese friends, but it still feels that the language barrier is quite big here still. Another thing is that culture is quite different between the locals and the Westerners here. So of course you can get in contact with them, you can have a lot of fun with them, but still, as I feel, it will still be the foreigners and the Chinese people. I come from Stockholm, where usually people are not very open at all to foreigners, so compared to Stockholm, this is a very open city. And I have to tell you, I mean, the Chinese people are super nice to me. They're super duper nice to me. They really want to get to know you. They really like talk to you and ask a lot of things about you, and it's not like they don't want to. It's just, I don't know, it's just a little culture difference. Another thing that I hate for bringing this up, but a lot of people are talking about the work-life balance, and I sound so old when I talk about this, but I just want to bring it up because a lot of people want to know about it. And I mean, I have friends that live in New York, live and work in New York, and when I went to visit them, I say like, oh, this is just an amazing city. It's awesome here, right? Those tall skyscrapers, all the people, the vibe, the energy, and they say like, yes, it is. But you have to bust your ass every single day to just be on Manhattan. You can't just walk around, stroll around and just enjoy the city. You have to work hard as every single day to just be on Manhattan. And when I heard about that, I felt like, yeah, of course, yeah, I totally understand it, but at the same time, is that what we want? Is that what we want to do? Do you want to see the city out from your office window, or do you actually want to explore it, to see it? And that's why I'm bringing up this work-life balance mumbo jumbo. And in that sense, I think this city is quite good. The salary is way higher than anywhere else in China. Maybe Hong Kong is higher, I don't know, but the salary compared to the living standard here is very, very good. And most of my friends that lives here basically live luxury lives compared to what they would do back home in Stockholm or anywhere else in the world. So the work-life balance in this city is amazing. So is Shanghai the best city in the world? My answer to that is...
Are we going to the beach? Is there some heat to find if we're going to the beach?
If you want to live in a city that's always awake, if you want to live in a city that's changing very, very fast with tons of people, very good different entertainment, good supply of restaurants and bars, a lot of different people from around the world, a city that never sleeps. I heard a really good quote that said that New York is the city that never sleeps. Shanghai doesn't even sit down. That's what I really like about this city. It's always something happening here. So if you want to be a part of that, this is absolutely the best city in the world. If you want to live in a calm place, have close nature, and don't like the Chinese culture, no, don't go here. It's totally that simple. So these are my thoughts to hold these thesis. You have to decide by yourself if it is the best city in the world or not. But I think you already have figured out what I think about this city throughout my videos.
I have so much to say, but in the least most